Welcome back to Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kristie. We've got some more great Reddit stories for you today, so let's dive in.
Will I be the asshole if I deny my newfound half-sister on my father's side access to my mother?
But wait, isn't she not related to your mother? So why does she want to talk to her?
This is a bit complicated. Please bear with me. Recently, a girl, 23 female, reached out to me, 25 female, via Facebook, explaining that she is my half-sister, conceived by my father and another woman. She explained that her mother recently came clean to her regarding her father, that she, 23 female, was the result of a one-night stand with a guy she met during a work trip. Before, she was told that she was the bio kid of her stepfather. She didn't find our father online, as he doesn't have social media, but found me thanks to our very uncommon surname. How her mother knows our surname but doesn't have any other contact information, I don't know. 23 female told me her mother was very cagey about everything. After a bunch of messaging, we set up a video call to talk, and 23 female explained she was very excited to connect with her real family and yada yada. But not just with my father's side, also with my mother's? As you can guess from our ages, my father cheated on my mom with 23 female's mother. No surprise there, as he had a ton of affairs during the marriage, which is why they divorced almost 2 decades ago. I'm also not surprised that 23 female exists, as my father told me himself years ago when I was grilling him about the cheating, that he most likely has a bunch of affair kids out there, because that's just how men are.
Wow, you got a great dad there.
I was open with her and told her that I'm no contact with my paternal family, because not only did they condone the cheating and blamed my mom for it, they are also just toxic in general. There is a lot to say about my paternal family, but to keep it concise, I told her I would give her their contact info, but that she should keep her expectations low, because they are all pretty terrible people, and she won't be seen as a long-lost daughter coming home. But me saying that led to her asking about my maternal family, to which I told her they are amazing people, and that my mother is great. She then got excited and said she can't wait to connect with my mom, and I'm stumped.
Me too. Why does she want to meet your mom? She's an affair baby. Why does she think your mom is going to want to meet her?
Yeah, she's not really related to your mom at all.
Not only is she not related, she's a sign of your mom's husband cheating on her. Like, you don't want to remind her of that around, probably.
As the newfound half-sister, I feel like I would be nervous about meeting OP's mom because I would be worried that she's going to be automatically antagonistic towards me.
That's what I would expect. You know, this is her husband's affair partner's baby.
Yeah, it's not fair that she's going to be mad at you just because of your existence, but I feel like that's just expected.
Pretty common response.
Yeah, I'm stumped as to why I would let her do that. She is not related to my mom, and my parents divorced long ago. My mom has also since remarried. Also, the timing of 23 female's conception coincides with the time when my mom miscarried my younger brother, something that obviously hurt her a lot.
Wow, your dad is trash.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to be debating whether or not dad is the asshole.
Well, good, because he definitely is. Cheating on your wife while she is suffering from a miscarriage, that's garbage behavior.
Knowing that on top of that pain, my father was cheating on her during that time is another can of worms. I told 23 female I would ask my mom if she's okay with connecting with her, but I don't think I should even bring this up to her. All of this just seems so weird to me, and I don't even know if 23 female is a good person, or if she has some sort of ulterior motive for wanting to know my mom. 23 female couldn't even give me a good reason as to why she would want that. Just that my mom is my family and thus also hers. I'm leaning towards not mentioning this to my mom and giving 23 female my dad's info, but my best friend said I'm an asshole for keeping my mom to myself, and that I shouldn't make this decision for my mom. Will I be the asshole if I don't mention anything to my mom?
I get your intentions behind not mentioning it to your mom, but I think you would be the asshole if you didn't mention it to your mom, because your newfound half-sister is going to try and find your mom anyways, and then your mom is going to be blindsided by the existence of this affair partner's baby just showing up. You need to give your mom a little bit of warning about what's going on and that there's a crazy lady out looking for her now, thinking she's going to be her new mom.
Yeah, I feel like the question at the beginning and the question at the end were not the same.
Oh, were they not?
Because at the beginning, the question was, would I be the asshole for denying my new half-sister access to my mom?
Not the asshole.
And at the end, she asked, would I be the asshole if I don't tell my mom about this?
Asshole.
Right? Those are two very distinct questions.
Yeah, those are very different questions, and they have a different answer for each of them.
Yeah, because I agree with not connecting your mom with this random woman who's really not related to her other than through pain.
I do kind of think I know where the newfound half sister is coming from, though. She probably has a garbage family life and is looking for any sort of nice family to connect to. And since she found out that, like, her bio father's family is trash, she's like, oh, well, how's the rest of your family? I want them to be my family now, too. Sounds like they're nice. But that's not how it works.
That's honestly more optimistic than mine. I assumed she was just looking for money.
Well, it might be that too. Goodness. But neither of those are a good reason. Don't let her into your maternal side of the family. She's not related to them at all.
No, I agree with not putting her in contact with your mom. But I feel like you should loop mom in that this conversation happened so she isn't blindsided. And that, because otherwise, if half sister just shows up and starts talking to mom, then she controls the story.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Let your mom know ahead of time that this might become a problem.
And it's been 2 decades. I think your mom has hopefully accepted the fact that her ex-husband is an asshole and that these problems might be wandering around.
It's still, you'd like a little bit of heads up before one wanders into your life and is like, hi, new mom. And you're like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I just say, tell mom, I don't think you're going to hurt her by telling her. You're just going to be giving her a heads up.
I would not even ask, hey, do you want to meet her? I would just be like, this crazy lady is trying to get in contact with you, maybe, so just be aware. Because mom obviously isn't going to want to meet her.
Yes, that's how I would go about it, too. I wouldn't even ask mom, hey, do you want to meet this random woman? No, just be like, hey, I talked with this random woman, and this happened, so I wanted to give you a heads up. Top comment, not the asshole. I may be overly suspicious, but I'd be wanting DNA evidence of relationship after her so smoothly moving on from wanting to be connected with your father's family onto your mother's. Grifters and scams abound these days, and it pays to be cautious.
That sounds like good advice, actually.
I mean, I don't know if I'd bother asking for DNA evidence if all you're doing is handing her your father's contact information. Let him deal with that problem.
Yeah.
But if she starts asking for anything, absolutely, that's a step in denying her because this is a stranger. I'm not such a wonderful person that if somebody turns up and claims to be my family, that's going to help them get anything from me.
No, I don't know you. I don't care if you're blood. I don't know you.
Not the asshole, however, your mom needs a heads up. Your father's daughter seems to be looking for new family, and she is not related to your maternal extended family. Your mom should be prepared in case she goes around you. Please take your best friend to the hospital ASAP. It appears she's had a head injury recently.
Oh, yeah, I forgot her best friend was like, you can't keep this girl from your mother. That's mean. No, that's not mean. Your friend is crazy. I totally forgot that part of the story.
On a more serious note, secrets are destructive, and as much as you want to protect your mom, just let her know and she can decide for herself. Sadly, your dad did a number on her trust with the affairs. Don't let this be a secret to break your bond. It's also saying, I don't think you can handle it vibes. Imagine if 23 decides to contact her of her own cognition, and your mom found out you knew. Yikes. Just be upfront. 23 doesn't have any rights to your mother. I'm also wondering whether she's reaching out to your mom as a way of hurting her mother. But yeah, Reddit's opinion pretty much aligns with ours. Please inform your mother, but you're not the asshole for denying new half-sister access to her.
Am I the asshole for buying my girlfriend vanilla shampoo?
I mean, that doesn't sound like a weird thing to do. Is she against vanilla?
My girlfriend uses a few different types of shampoo and alternates between them. One of them, a vanilla-scented one, is my favorite. She asked me to pick up some things for her at the store, and on my way to check out, I saw the vanilla shampoo and grabbed that too. When I got back to her apartment, she started putting away the things I bought. She was confused by the shampoo and asked me why I got it. I said that I saw it and I know she uses that kind, and I grabbed it for her. She said she wasn't running low on shampoo. I said, I know, but it doesn't expire, and that one is my favorite. I teasingly said that she should use it if she's planning on washing her hair tonight. She asked what I meant by it being my favorite. I said, I like the way it makes her hair smell, like cookies. She looked a little weirded out. I asked her if she was okay. She said it was weird that I sexualized her shampoo.
Okay, that seems like a little bit of an extreme reaction. I think it's pretty normal to enjoy it when your partner smells good.
I said smelling nice is sexy. I asked if she thinks I'm sexier when I use nice smelling soaps and deodorants. She said, not really, as long as I don't actively smell bad. I said, maybe it's different for everyone.
I guess it is. I always like it when you smell nicer.
Right? Like, nice smells smell nice, and I like them. And I like them on the person I like.
Right, like it's always nicer to be near somebody when they've freshly showered and smell like soap.
Like, isn't that the whole point of, like, perfumes and colognes and things, is to make you smell nice and make you attractive to other people? She said, honestly, it bothered her that something as mundane as shampoo was sexual to me. She asked me if someone else smelled like vanilla, would I be attracted to them? I said no, that she was misunderstanding me. She asked me to clarify, but I don't think I did a good job. I said I specifically liked the smell on her, not other people. She still seemed put out, so I headed home to give her some space. Was I an asshole for buying this shampoo and telling her I like when she uses it? To me, that's not weird, but maybe that's because I'm a guy. Is there a layer to this that I'm not seeing?
Oh, it does seem a little weird that your partner does not understand the connection between your partner smelling nice and your attraction to them at that moment. Like, yeah, I like it when you smell nice. That doesn't mean anytime any woman smells nice, I'm suddenly attracted to them. But I think that OP is also a little bit of the asshole here, because he bought her normal ass shampoo as a gift.
I don't know if I think that's an asshole thing. I'd be like, oh my gosh, he actually noticed what kind of shampoo I used.
I suppose, but...
And it wasn't like a birthday gift. It was a, hey, I was at the store and I saw this and I was thinking of you. You should use this tonight because I like the way it smells. That's not weird.
I mean, it wasn't on sale or anything, and he just wanted her to have more of this one shampoo. I guess that's not weird, but I feel like he doesn't get any brownie points for it. He's just stocking up. It's almost like if he came back to the store with a case of toilet paper and he handed her the toilet paper and she said, I don't need toilet paper. And he replied with, yeah, but I like it better when you use the toilet paper.
You're taking this in a weird direction.
I'm not.
But okay. I also like people better when they use toilet paper.
But, and then I sat there and smiled at you and like expected this to count as like a gift.
I'd be like, do you think I'm not using toilet paper enough? I would start to get a little bit paranoid.
Is that the direction this girlfriend is taking it? I have to wonder. I don't know if I'm looking in too deep here, but I feel like he tried to present a normal ass bottle of shampoo as a present. And it's not. Just buy her some chocolates. And buy her some chocolates and then say, hey, I really like it when you use that vanilla shampoo. I don't know if there would ever needed to be a point where he restocked the bottle earlier.
I mean, that's kind of true. You could just tell her, hey, I like it when you use that vanilla shampoo. He didn't need to buy more for her.
Yeah, just wait until the next time she uses it. Go over there, affectionately sniff her hair and say, wow, I really like it when you use this one, and then kiss her on the cheek. That was all you had to do, and I feel like buying the bottle like it was a gift made it a little weird. I'm not sure if her reaction was appropriate to that. I feel like her getting weirded out about you liking the way she smells is strange. I don't know. I feel like maybe you're both a little bit of the asshole, but not like a ton. Very minor assholes here.
Okay, one of the top comments. NTA, what on earth? You did something nice. She should have said thank you. My husband comments if he likes my perfume. She presumably buys the vanilla scented shampoo because she also likes the smell. Making it out like you're some weird freak for also liking the smell is wild. It's like she was looking for something to fight about. OP responds, yeah, I don't get it. Liking certain smells is normal, right? Isn't that the point of scented things and perfume? It's not a creepy thing to like.
No, it's not, but I'm worried OP is focused on the wrong aspect of the argument. Like, a girl wants something special when you buy something just because you're thinking of them, not like hand soap. What do you know? It feels like he's just buying a basic toiletry and being like, I like this one. You could have gotten her something special with that money.
Okay, but she's not mad that he got her shampoo and not something else. She's mad that he likes the way it smells on her, and she thinks it's weird that he's sexualizing shampoo and says, you smell sexy in this shampoo.
I mean, yes, like we already said, it seems weird that she doesn't get the connection of smell and affection. But if this is her basic shampoo, maybe she only uses it on the days she's not really trying. Do you think that's a possibility? Like she wears like nice perfumes when you go out on dates and stuff, and you were just like, I like it when you smell like basic Head and Shoulders.
I don't know, maybe. She's like, what do you mean you like the cheap crap? I spend money on all this expensive stuff and the cheap one's the one you like?
Yeah, she's sitting there like, I got ready for an hour for our last date, and he just wants me to smell like my anti-dandruff shampoo.
Another comment. She needs to take a deep breath and relax. As a woman myself, if my boyfriend bought me a shampoo he knows I use and he likes the smell of it, I'd be so flattered and touched, especially if he said the smell is sexy on me. She sounds insecure. Okay, on to the update.
Oh, there's an update? Okay.
So yesterday, my girlfriend didn't like it that I took it upon myself to buy her vanilla shampoo when I was picking some things up for her at the store. We met up at her apartment again this morning for breakfast, and I asked if we could talk about our boundaries and expectations because I never want to make her feel uncomfortable. She agreed that we should talk. She said that when she visited her family over winter break, she had time to think about our relationship and talk to her parents and sister about me. She said that space and perspective made her realize some things.
This sounds like it's going in a bad direction for OP.
The first thing she realized is that she isn't happy that we always meet at her apartment. I said that I completely understand and that she is welcome to come hang out at mine. When we first started dating, she didn't want to visit my apartment often because of my 4 roommates, but things change and I get that. She still doesn't want to hang out at my apartment because of my 4 roommates, though. She said that my living situation is too crowded and it bothers her. I asked if she wanted me to move, and she said she would like it if I made a commitment to finding a new living situation by the next semester.
How long have they been dating?
I don't think he said before, but he says somewhere in here 4 months.
4 months and she wants him to move?
Right? That seems a little presumptuous of a 4-month girlfriend to be like, you need to find a new living situation. I'm not happy with yours.
I'm sorry. Also, 4 months and he's buying her shampoo?
I mean, he's spending the night at her place. They hang out at her place. So, yeah.
I guess. But what would you have thought if I bought shampoo for you at any point before we moved in together?
Okay, that is a good point. That is a little weird.
It seems a little forward to me, and I don't know why. It just, I guess, buying toiletries unprompted for someone you don't live with, it seems forward. That's the word I'm going to use for it.
Okay, but back to the update. Since the next semester is a long way off, this isn't unreasonable, but I was hesitant. I really like my living situation. My friends and I help each other out a lot. I don't necessarily want to live alone, and it is expensive. She can afford to live alone, but I don't necessarily think I could. I explained that I didn't think I could afford it. She suggested I ask my parents for money, which isn't an option. She also pointed out that I have a part-time job, but that doesn't make me enough money to pay for my own apartment.
They're in college, right?
Yes.
Like living with 4 roommates is the most normal thing in college. It's part of the college experience.
I agree, and it sounds like he agrees and doesn't want to give that up. He likes living with his friends.
I liked living with my friends at that age, too.
I asked if me spending too much time at her apartment is the only issue because I felt that there was more to the shampoo thing. She said yes, that she didn't like that. She said that she didn't like the idea that I'm constantly thinking about having sex with her and that it made her feel disrespected.
Okay, was that a leap, or did OP leave something out of his initial story?
He said he thinks her vanilla shampoo is sexy. She's like, you want to have sex with me all the time.
I feel like these days the word sexy and the word sex are very separated.
I said that I'm not constantly thinking about having sex with her. I told her it's more that I really like her, and sometimes she does things and I think that they are sexy, but that doesn't mean that I necessarily want to have sex at that moment. It's just my internal monologue going, that was sexy.
Yes, that's how I use the word too.
That wasn't the right way to explain it. She didn't seem to understand where I was coming from. She asked me what was going through my head when I was at the store and if I was thinking about having sex with her. I said I was thinking about the store, the items I needed to buy, inflation, etc. And then I saw the shampoo and I thought about how she uses it and it makes her hair smell amazing. And I bought it. She asked if I specifically thought about the way her hair smelled the last time we had sex. And I said, yes, but it wasn't like I had a full sex fantasy at the store. It was a momentary thought.
I hate both of your trains of thoughts so much.
She said that isn't normal and I might have Tourette's or ADHD or OCD or some other condition that causes intrusive thoughts. I'm really glad I made the last post because I was worried about what she said, but then I remembered all the commenters that mentioned also feeling the same way about scents. I told her I posted about our conversation in an anonymous online forum and several people feel the same way I do about smell.
Oh, you fool, you told her about the Reddit post? The point of it being anonymous was so nobody in your real life found out about it either, my friend.
I said, I think it is normal to feel that way about scents, but maybe it isn't ubiquitous. She said it isn't normal and I might want to talk to a doctor about potentially having hypersexuality.
Wow, she's just batshit crazy, isn't she?
Between her not liking my living situation and her not liking that I'm attracted to her smell, which is probably my fault because I wasn't doing a good job of explaining things, I realized we just weren't compatible. I told her I thought maybe we had different needs for a relationship and maybe would be better as friends. She said she was disappointed in me, but that she agreed. We hugged it out. I'm a little bummed, but we were only dating for 4 months. Thanks for being my normalcy barometer since I don't have one for relationships yet. And in another comment, he did say that this is his first serious relationship.
It shows. I'm sorry, my friend. It shows. You'll get better. You will get better. It happens to all of us on the first couple relationships. Having said that, I feel like this is absolutely the type of argument that happens right before your first relationship breakup.
A really weird argument about nothing, essentially.
Essentially, right? And your ex has some very strange takes about scent.
And sex, and like people thinking about sex.
Yeah, she's almost a little too uptight, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she thinks he has hypersexuality, but he's the normal one and she's a little bit prudish.
Yeah, I gotta agree on that. It sounds almost like she's insulted that the person she's dating is sexually attracted to her.
How dare you? I am a pure, innocent woman. Do not think of me in that manner.
So I guess I was way off the mark when I said that she was insulted that you handed her a toiletry like it was a gift.
No, she's insulted you think about having sex with her.
I just assumed there was some sort of layer to this story, and it was very straightforward.
I mean, I could kind of see her being insulted about you thinking about having sex with her all the time if you haven't had sex yet. But they've had sex.
Have they?
Yeah, she asked, did you think about the last time we had sex?
Oh, right, she did.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, her opinion gets even weirder when you realize that they have done that.
I don't think occasionally thinking about sex with your partner is intrusive thoughts, like she said it was. And I don't think you have Tourette's or ADHD or OCD. Does she even know what those are?
It sounds like no, because she just listed a bunch of them in a row, right?
I think she just means you have some sort of mental disorder. I don't know what kind, and I don't care to find out what kind. Here's a list of random ones.
Right. It's not a very helpful list. So I guess OP's probably better off living that single life with his friends in an apartment that he can afford.
One of the top comments on the update. Diagnosing you with disorders, asking you to isolate yourself from a large portion of your support group by asking the other portion of your support group for money. I could go on. I was here for the OG post and I wholeheartedly believed you did the right thing. If this is how she acts 4 months in, she was going to be a nightmare 4 years in. I'm sure she had some nice qualities, but none of them are worth feeling like you have to constantly explain things or change parts of yourself.
That's true. Those were some extreme changes she wanted you to make in your life, and it sounds like you broke up in the same conversation anyways, so I don't think the relationship had much potential moving forward anyways.
Yeah, and now OP will be single when they meet someone who is a better match.
Exactly. And OP, please don't buy toiletries as gifts. Hey, if you're enjoying this content so far, consider hitting that subscribe button.
Yeah, we really appreciate your support, and it lets us know that we should keep making fun content like this for you guys.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife's friend I don't have to see her in the classroom to know she's a horrible teacher?
Okay, telling someone they're a horrible teacher might be kind of an asshole thing to do, but what did they do that made you know that they're a horrible teacher? How bad are they?
My wife's friend was supposed to come watch fireworks with us tonight, but she just texted my wife that she isn't coming because I'm a nasty person who encourages my child to be rude and disrespectful. My wife and I just had a small argument about the situation that ended with her pulling a Big Lebowski on me and saying I don't have to be wrong to be an asshole. That's true. But I think her friend is the asshole, not me. I'll tell you what happened, and you decide for us. My wife's friend was at our house for dinner. She's a teacher, and she complains about it a lot. She says the parents are impossible to deal with, the administrator is not supportive, everyone has an opinion on curriculum, and the kids don't listen. I include these complaints as context for the discussion. She told my wife she was working on her lesson plan for February and Black History Month, and that she was making a fact sheet about Martin Luther King Jr. for her kids. Our son, who is a huge Star Trek fan, said that she should include the fact that MLK Jr. was a Star Trek fan. My wife's friend, with a very patronizing tone and expression I might add, said that maybe he would have been if he'd still been alive when it aired.
What?
My son said that he was, and that he used to watch it with his daughters. My wife's friend said that he died before the show aired.
What?
I told her she was wrong and my son was right. She said I was the perfect example of a parent that can't acknowledge when their child is wrong. I said, no, you're a perfect example of a teacher that assumes she knows everything and can't connect with her students because she doesn't respect them.
Google exists. Just pull it up and prove her wrong. Right now. Do it.
That's what I thought too. I was wondering why you don't just look up his death date and look up Star Trek's first airing date, and that would solve the discussion.
Yeah, and prove her wrong, because she's wrong.
No, instead, these two adults resorted to name-calling.
I mean, that is also valid. Do that first, and then pull the Google up and prove her wrong.
That's true. Usually there's a little bit of name-calling before you angrily open your phone and Google it and go, look, see?
Uh-huh.
My wife forced us all to change the topic. After dessert, I pulled up a video on YouTube where Nichelle Nichols was discussing talking to MLK Jr. about Star Trek. I showed it to everyone. My wife's friend asked why I couldn't let the topic lie.
Because she's wrong, and she's so adamant that she's not. I can't believe they waited till after dessert to settle this.
Yeah, you're wrong. Uhura says so. I said I didn't want my son to feel like he was wrong for sharing facts he knows about his interests. My wife's friend said I don't know what it's like to be a teacher. I said I don't, but I know she's a bad one. She said I'd never seen her in the classroom. I said I didn't need to, because I see how she is in her daily life. And people are who they are, regardless of where they are.
I mean, he does have a point. He saw her trying to teach his child, so he did see her teaching, just not in the classroom, and she sucked at it.
I mean, I don't know if I would call it teaching when she essentially just told the kid, you're wrong, shut up.
Well, yeah, but I feel like that is her teaching method. All you children, shut up and obey me. Listen to what I have to say because I am all-knowing and you are all idiots. That's the impression I get off of her.
So my wife's argument is I'm an asshole for bringing the topic back up after it was settled. She said I could have played the video for our son after her friend left and taught him about giving others grace and not needing external validation. I disagree and think it is important our kid knows we will always stand up for him. So, am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. You need to show your kid that you'll always stand up for them. And then also that it is okay to call people out when they're wrong.
Top comment. That conversation between Nichelle and MLK Jr. was famously groundbreaking. She was going to quit, but he convinced her to stay as a beacon to other people of color who saw her as an inspiration and hope for the future. So, it's a very famous video, apparently.
Yeah, that was like a pretty famous conversation that proves that MLK Jr. was alive during the time of Star Trek. I thought it was a pretty well-known fact that he liked watching it with his daughters, too.
I actually didn't know that fact before I read this post, but I knew that they were alive at the same time.
I think I did know that, and I don't know why, because I'm not especially well educated about Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm not a Star Trek fan, so why did I know that?
It's absolutely the type of fact that gets drilled into your head every year in school.
Trying to make him more relatable, right?
Yeah.
Every Martin Luther King Jr. Day where you learn about him.
Another comment. What an interesting statement. Can you show me where you found it? It's not hard to be kind and not invalidating. I wouldn't let her negative energy around my child. Unless she changes her ways. Why would you want to hang out with this negative Nancy?
Yeah, she sounds like she thinks she doesn't have anything that she can learn from children. And that's just not true. Sometimes you learn the coolest facts from kids who have a hyperfixation.
That's true. And just the fact that her response to him having different knowledge was trying to shut him down, that's not a healthy way to respond to a child. I like the commenter's method a lot better of like, hey, that's an awesome fact. Can you show me more info on it? And then if the child's wrong, the child learns something. If the child's right, you learn something, but do it kindly.
Yeah, I love pulling out my phone and Googling something to settle an argument.
Oh, I'll pull out my phone and Google something even when there isn't an argument. Sometimes I just want to know more about something.
Am I the asshole if I cancel my hubby's birthday plans and leave the house, leaving hubby to host his family for my birthday?
That is a confusing title. Why don't you just go ahead and start reading it? Because I did not really understand it.
I only have 4 days to make a decision. I've been going back and forth trying to decide if I should cancel my husband's birthday reservations I made for him at this really cool indoor golf place, followed by reservations for dinner. He's always commented on wanting to try both, and I thought it would make a nice gift. His birthday is only a few days after mine. For Christmas, he legit took the time to buy and wrap me a box of diapers for our daughter in the next size up and presented it to me as my gift.
Oh, wow. Why do guys think it's okay to gift toiletries to women? Especially ones for your kid. This is half for you, bro. It's half your kid.
I'm still angry about that. No, gag gifts for Christmas has never been a thing between us. Last year, he got me a spatula, and I thought this year he would do better after the falling out we had over the spatula.
Oh my god, how are some guys this bad at presents? Like, a spatula is just an impulse buy when you're at the grocery store. You're like, oh, my spatula sucks. I'll spend $4 on this one.
A little bit of background info. Our daughter is now 2 months old, and we have been working on replacing the floor and painting our home since before she was born, with the goal of having it done before she can crawl. Over the summer, he did the nursery floor, and in the fall, a week before she was born, he did the flooring in our older son's room. Mind you, the flooring was given to us for free from my dad, and my dad bought my husband his own miter saw for Christmas to get the job done, so he would no longer have to borrow his. I do all the painting. This past week, as we have been clearing things out of our bedroom for me to do the painting and him the floor, he brought up my birthday. He said, "Wow, all this work for your birthday gift." I said, "Excuse me? What gift?" He said, "All the work of putting the flooring in our bedroom. But don't worry, I'll still do a dinner for you and we can invite your mom and my family. And what do you want me to cook?"
I'm sorry. This flooring that wasn't even purchased by him is your birthday gift from him?
But he's doing the work to put it in.
That's just what happens when you're an adult that lives in a house.
And she's doing the painting. So he's doing the flooring and she's doing the painting. But his present to her is him doing the flooring.
Sounds like your present to him is you painting. Sounds like you're not a present family anymore. Because the furnace broke last month and I called a repairman. That was my gift to you.
I said I would just like to have a quiet birthday dinner, you, me, and the kids at Longhorn Steakhouse. Come home and watch a movie together. Also, the flooring is not my gift. This is something we've been planning now for a year, and with the house torn up, I don't want to host anyone in our home, especially after having hosted for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Besides, we don't even have a place for people to sit. We have all the bedroom furniture and our clothing in the living room. I'm currently sleeping on the mattress on the floor in here. Plus, I'm not a fan of your brother coming over, so you two can sit and just drink beer all evening while I watch our and his kids.
Yeah, that does not sound like a fun birthday.
He said, "No, I'm going to cook at home. Just tell me what you want me to cook." I said, "Okay, I want to do steak, mashed potatoes, and green beans." But there's a problem here. He can't make mashed potatoes to save his life and only likes green beans if they're boiled. I like fresh green beans, slowly sautéed with olive oil, garlic, and herbs. So if I want it cooked this way, I will have to do it.
That doesn't sound like that complex of a dish. And if he sucks at mashed potatoes, I suck at mashed potatoes. They're always lumpy. Just go and buy like one of those pre-made mashed potato things in the deli aisle.
He said, "No, we're not doing steak. It will cost too much if the family comes over. I'll just do a chicken."
Why did he ask you?
I lost it. I said again, "For my birthday, I do not want people over." He kept arguing the issue, and I said, "Fine, do what you want for my birthday." Side note, last year he ordered the traditional tres leches cake, but he ordered it with peaches. I hate peaches. He likes peaches. I like strawberries. Plus, my name was spelled wrong on the birthday cake. He thought it was hilarious.
This man is stressing me out. I don't even know how to cut in because he's just making such an ass of himself with every single sentence she writes.
I am now seriously considering canceling his birthday golf outing and dinner reservations, leaving home if he invites his family for my birthday, buying him a box of diaper wipes and presenting it with a card that says, "Happy birthday, I painted the house for you." Would I be the asshole?
It sounds like no, you wouldn't be the asshole because this is what he's doing to you. Maybe it happening to him in return will be a little bit of a wake-up call because he is not being a very good spouse right now. What kind of life has he led up to this point where he's never learned don't buy your wife diapers as a present? Most guys have to learn don't buy your wife like a treadmill as a present or something. And he's back at like the toiletries stage of I'm going to buy her diapers and she's going to love it. She's not going to have to go shopping for this one item. Was he sitting at the baby shower and seeing people getting you boxes of diapers and stuff as a gift at the baby shower? And he's like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that.
For every gift-giving occasion from now on.
I don't understand his logic at any step.
I think his logic is he doesn't want to have to put thought into buying a present. Ugh, it's so hard.
My God, with his track record, I bet OP would be happy with a gift card.
Yeah, a gift card to that steakhouse she wanted to go to for her birthday.
Just go to the grocery store, buy a card from the To My Wife section, and put $50 in it. Sounds like that would be a huge improvement over what you're currently doing, my friend.
Top comment, cancel his birthday reservation and take yourself to the spa with that money. Bonus points if you do it while his family is there for dinner.
Like, there were no redeeming parts for husband in this entire story. What do you mean you downgraded her birthday meal from steak to chicken? Because it's too expensive for you to feed your family steak. Why is your family even coming over when she doesn't want them there? This is not a fun birthday for your wife.
Another comment. I'm trying to understand why you would stay married to someone who has no respect for you and sounds like he doesn't even like you.
It does kind of sound like he's not viewing you as like an individual and just as a mom.
So Reddit really doesn't know why she is still with this guy. She has not said one nice thing that he has ever done for her, really.
It's a little tough to see both sides of the story when her side of the story was so egregious.
Okay, she does have an update. Update on the birthday plans. I've since logged in and canceled his birthday golf outing and dinner reservations for next week. Tomorrow is my birthday and his day off work, so he will watch the baby as I have also booked myself for a 90-minute massage. After that, I will be stopping by Starbucks for my favorite drink and 1 hour of uninterrupted time with my new book that my son got me for Christmas. Then I will be picking him up from school and taking him to go see a movie. I will round out the day by coming home, taking a long hot bubble bath, ordering DoorDash, and ending my day holding my baby girl. That sounds like an amazing birthday for me. For him, I will just be getting him a card that reads, "Happy birthday, I painted the house for you." The bag will contain a case of diaper wipes. If he looks disappointed, I will just tell him, I canceled the golf outing and dinner reservations and instead got this bulk pack of wipes. The perfect gift to accompany the box of diapers you got me for Christmas. He will get the message. Then she has a long paragraph saying those people in the comment calling for divorce. I think that's a little unnecessary. He's really a good husband and a good father. He just sucks at giving gifts. And then she talks about what a great husband he is. And he does sound pretty good, but really, he does terrible at gifts.
So this whole thing was just about gifts? Sorry, the fact that he assumed that your basic living necessities were gifts made me think that this was spiraling outside of just birthdays.
Right? I thought he was being terrible the rest of the time, too. Like, he was showing no consideration for her when it came to the Christmas gift. I was like, this must be, like, leaking over into other parts of their life. Apparently not. I don't know.
Okay, good. I am very happy to hear that. I am always happy to hear that, you know, a marriage is going good and husband's just a dumbass in this one category, right? But wow. Those are worse gifts than, like, a toddler drawing you a picture.
She continues, he sucks at gift giving and this year and last year, so yes, I will be doing nothing for him for his birthday. Despite the shitty, thoughtless gift and the non-birthday birthday plans, I will be holding off on kicking him out and just matching his energy for his birthday. For Christmas next year, I think I will get him an IKEA toddler bed to assemble for our daughter and call it a day.
I guess you two have a much more competitive marriage than we do, because it sounds like your idea is just to match his energy because he won't get it through his head that these are not gifts he's giving you.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that's a good idea. Why should you put all this thought and energy and money into really nice gifts for him if he's not doing the same for you? Just match his energy, give him the same quality of gifts as he gives you. If he's not happy with it, tell him you're just matching his energy and he has to up his game.
Hopefully you matching his gift-giving game is a bit of a wake-up call, and you two aren't just trapped in this petty cycle.
Yeah, I hope the husband gets the message and she gets better gifts for next Christmas and birthday.
Am I the asshole for waiting in line at the grocery store while my parents finished shopping?
Ooh, I don't know. I do feel like this is a little bit of an asshole thing to do because you see one person standing in line with like nothing and you're like, oh, this is a great line to get in. They're going to check out fast. And then someone shows up with a giant overstuffed cart and joins that person. And then you're trapped behind them in the really, really, really long line.
Well, have you experienced this before?
Yes.
Okay.
And it made me mad. And I'm like, I guess technically it is not wrong, but it made me mad.
It's not illegal, but
maybe it should be.
So that's just really funny because when I read the title, I thought this was going to be one of those scared little kids with the cart, and mom ran back to get like one item and...
Yeah. Hurry, Mom! Hurry, Mom!
That's what I thought was coming, but you nailed it. Let's get into the story.
Nothing is more terrifying than getting closer to the front of the line and your mother is not back with that credit card yet.
Oh, absolutely. And when I was a cashier, I absolutely checked that kid out as fast as I could.
You're so mean.
So I went to the grocery store today and the lines to pay were a bit crowded. So my parents asked me to already wait in line while they finished grabbing the last couple of items. We usually do this if there's a lot of people. If it's my turn to pay and they aren't there yet, I just let the person behind me pass, so I don't stop the flow for obvious reasons. Even though that was the case today, this afternoon another customer was really angry because of this, claiming it was unfair and disrespectful to others that were waiting in line too, since you can only wait in line once you finish shopping, not before that. I have no idea what's the logic behind his point of view, and he didn't even explain it to me then because of how frustrated he was. Is this a cultural thing? Am I wrong here? As far as I know, as a customer, you should abide by the rules of the establishment, and the grocery store has no rule against doing this. I didn't prevent other customers or the cashier from continuing their business, and I had to wait in line like everyone else. So, am I the asshole here? If so, please let me know your logic in detail. I'm curious to know if I'm missing anything.
Logically, yeah, he's waiting in line, so it doesn't make any difference, but it does. It does make a difference, and it makes me angry.
I think that this is the type of asshole that causes rules to get made.
Yes, they're like, well, technically, that's not against the rules, but now we got to make a new rule to strictly ban that.
This is the exact type of pedantic, like, well, I'm not breaking any rules. Well, now we got to make a new damn rule, and it's your fault. So I gotta say, OP is kind of the asshole here.
I definitely think they are, but like, I cannot articulate why they are. They just are. This is wrong. This is wrong. Does anybody on Reddit in the comments have like a really good explanation for logically why this is wrong?
Top comment, you're the asshole. Most people shopping don't have someone with them to send to the line in advance to hold their place. So yeah, it's rude to do. People choose lines based on who is there and how much stuff they have. People have queued up behind you thinking you have maybe one thing or are grabbing something at the register. Then all of a sudden, more people come up with a full cart and join you. That's a shitty thing to do to the people behind you. Have you ever been in line for a ride at a theme park and a bunch of people go in front of you to join their friend that was holding their place? Same thing. Get in line when you're ready for it.
Or when you're at a concert and you are like right in the front row and then somebody comes up is like, my friend is right there, and they scooch in front of you and block your view. And you're like, but I was here first.
Yeah, when you like get that good spot in the pit and where it's standing room only.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had that. I think the most recent concert we went to where we were in standing room, we went with your sister and her husband, and husband and I were standing behind the two of you with just people constantly tapping us on the shoulder, being like, hey, can we, I just gotta slide up there. And we're just,
no, locked arms and made a barrier. Thank
Yes.
you for protecting me from people bumping into me and trying to scooch past me, because I would have been enraged. And I really enjoyed that concert with not being enraged the whole time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually told you that the two of us were standing behind you as spread as wide as possible, protecting our space the whole concert.
Because we were really close to the stage. My sister even touched his hand.
Because the cart was taken out of line, I'm going with you're the asshole. If you had the full cart with you and they ran off to grab an extra item, that's fine. But because the cart had to go with them, you should have stepped out of line and waited for the cart to come back before getting back in line. Or they should have grabbed a second cart and gone through a second checkout. People lined up behind you assumed you didn't have much, maybe one item. To then have this full cart show up and essentially skip the line is unfair.
Yes, because I'm not angry if someone is in line with their cart and then like, oh, we forgot something, and they send someone off to go grab 1 or 2 items and get back before they start checking out. But if someone just shows up with a full cart and jumps in line with someone who had 1 or 2 things, I'm furious.
I think that's what most people in the comments are trying to get through to OP, is that the line is for people that are ready to leave. There's no fast pass option.
And then he gets to the front of the line and lets the person behind him go because he's not ready to check out yet. So he's perpetually just second in line. And I don't feel like that's fair.
So OP has an update to clarify, but it kind of comes across as, I got yelled at, so here's some more information to make me sound a little better.
Okay, let's hear it.
Update, I need to clarify something. My apologies if I expressed myself wrong. English isn't my native language. When I mean a couple of items, I'm talking about dog food only. The big bag that's heavy and a small bag with the little treats of different flavors. Everything on the same aisle. We forgot to pick it up when we waited in line, and they had to take the shopping cart because it was too heavy to carry all of it by hand from the aisle back to the cashier. We didn't think we had to go to the back of the line for forgetting one item that required the shopping cart to carry. That's why I was left there waiting. Shout out to the Redditors that suggested I should add this info as context.
No, I still feel like if the shopping cart is not in the line, you're not in line. If it's a big enough item that you need to take the cart to go get it, well, tough luck. Get in the back of the line when you get back.
Yeah, and also OP says we usually do this if there's a lot of people.
This is something they do regularly.
Yeah, this is not we forgot one item. This is a regular thing.
This is we'll be done shopping in 5 or 10 minutes. Go hop in line now so we don't have to wait.
Let's close out with one last comment who I think addresses the update and his similar comments throughout the, comment section. You're the asshole. This is an extremely rude practice. Your family is inconsiderate if nothing else. The scenario here is you are rude. While perhaps your family has taught you to be rude, it is up to you to change now that you're aware of this character flaw.
Yeah, also, I feel like this is not a common practice. Has he not noticed that nobody else does this?
Yeah, I think he should be able to pick up context clues that nobody else is doing this awesome hack his family has thought of. So there's a very high chance that you're the asshole if no one else is doing it.
Am I the asshole for refusing to clean the coffee machine at work?
I mean, I guess that depends on a lot of things. If you're a coffee drinker and all the coffee drinkers at work take turns cleaning it, then you're the asshole. If you're not a coffee drinker at all, then everyone else is the asshole.
I work in a space with about 20 coworkers. We share a break room and the coffee amenities that are in it. That includes a fancy coffee machine, a lot of mugs, and a dishwasher for said mugs. The coffee machine needs to be cleaned daily so that the milk inside does not curdle overnight. This means running the cleaning cycle and opening the machine to wash some of the individual components inside. The office has a weekly rotation for the coffee cleaning duty. Managers are exempt from that duty, so the common worker like me is typically in charge of cleaning the coffee machine for a week every few months.
Okay, I don't like having the managers exempt of the bad job. If you're not, a coffee shop, then they should be pitching in.
On top of that, everyone leaves their dirty mugs in the kitchen sink, and the person on rotation is expected to load and unload the dishwasher multiple times a day so that everyone has clean mugs at all times.
This sounds like a whole-ass second job.
On days when the managers have business visitors, this can add up to a lot of mugs to cater to the visitors' coffee needs. I understand that the coffee machine and mugs are a common amenity, and I agree that if you use them, you should contribute. That said, I do not drink coffee. It is a well-known fact among my coworkers that I dislike coffee. They even joke about it. I do not use the coffee machine, be it for coffee, hot chocolates, or even hot water. I don't even use the mugs. I prefer drinking juice, sodas, or water that I bring with me every morning in my own containers, bottles or tumblers.
Okay, I feel like I can already say you're not the asshole.
I asked to be kept off of the cleaning rotation since I don't use the coffee machine and most likely never will. I find it a bit ridiculous to only touch the coffee machine to clean it, and to be asked to clean up after everyone for something I'll never use. My coworkers are split on the matter. Some agree with me, others say that I should contribute to living in society, regardless, and do it to keep the peace. I'd argue that they have a vested interest in me participating so that they can clean less often. I'm aware that this is just a coffee machine, and I'd be cleaning it for just a week every few months. But the principle of it bothers me. Am I the asshole for not wanting to clean the coffee machine?
Sorry, did OP say if this is like their first job or something?
No.
Okay, the way that everyone is talking to OP makes me think that this is their first job. But no, OP, you're not the asshole. You don't drink coffee, so you are not in charge of maintaining the coffee machine. That's a very basic-ass office rule. I have worked in plenty of offices where we don't have like a cleaning staff that comes in and does the dishes every night. At all of those offices, when you finish with a mug, you rinse it and you put it in the dishwasher. If you just stick your mug in the sink, it means the dishwasher is either running right now or you're a big asshole.
I agree. Why does it need to be one person's job to do all the dishes? Do your own dishes, people.
I have worked at offices where there are the community dishes and mugs, and the rule is always, don't put it in the sink if you can help it, and if you can't fit it in the dishwasher, turn the dishwasher on. Obviously, that doesn't apply to clients, so when you have important clients coming into the office, yeah, somebody who has a few minutes walks over to the dishwasher and the sink and cleans up a little so the office is presentable.
See, this is where I think she might be the asshole. This coffee machine and the mugs are also used by clients. So why is she the only one exempt from not cleaning up after these clients just because she's the only one who doesn't drink coffee?
That is a good point, but I've never worked at an office that has such a strict rotation on who's in charge of cleaning the coffee maker. It's almost always whoever has time, and there's always a couple people that weasel out of it, but for the most part, everyone's adults. I don't know if I would call her the asshole in this one, especially because OP, it sounds like, doesn't even work with the clients directly. And part of being the person in charge of meeting with the clients is making sure things are presentable for the client.
Top comment, this seems unfair to me. Managers being excused offends me. NTA.
Yes. That's another thing, is that the managers are the ones working with the clients, so those managers could fucking go and clean the mugs before the clients get there. Tell them to stop sitting on their ass.
I feel like there should be no job in the work environment that the boss is not willing to do.
Yes, that is the sign of a good boss or manager, that they should be willing to fill in the needs at the lower, I don't even want to call it a lower station. It's washing the mugs. It's just being a basic ass adult. And the idea that they think they can be exempt from keeping the office functioning implies that they aren't good managers.
Another comment. So the managers are not expected to live in society? This is BS. If this is applied to cleaning ashtrays, would the non-smokers also agree to that because it's living in society?
I didn't even think about the ashtray comparison. That's very true. I never once cleaned the smoking area at any of the agencies I worked at. That's not true. I did it a couple times because I had clients coming to the office and I knew they smoked, so I went and sweeped up some cigarette butts.
And you made sure that your place looked presentable for the clients.
Right, because they were my clients, and I wanted my job to be successful. I did not tell one of the interns to go and sweep cigarette butts.
The fact that grown-ass adults cannot figure out how to load their own dirty mug into the dishwasher is insane.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to drive home. Don't just stick your dishes in the sink in an office. No one does that.
I can understand having someone assigned to rotating the unloading of it, but unless the dishwasher is full of clean mugs or running, people shouldn't be putting dirty mugs in the sink. Also, are people allergic to rinsing out their mug and reusing it throughout the day? I'm probably gross for reusing the same mug at home for a couple days, but it won't kill people to just use the same mug throughout the day.
Another good point. I always would rinse my mug and refill it with coffee or whatever I wanted to drink next. I very rarely use more than one cup at the office. And a lot of that is because I'm one of the people that's willing to, turn on the dishwasher and stuff, and I want to minimize how often I have to do that.
So Reddit thinks NTA and is very outraged that the managers are not also included in this rotation of the cleaning.
I think that one fact alone is enough to say that you're not the asshole and that the managers are definitely the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to sit at a breakfast table with nothing for me to eat?
If you're not eating, why would you sit at the breakfast table?
I, 29 female, am on a holiday with my partner, 28 male, and his family. It's an extremely remote location, so we have to purchase everything before we go, as a trip to civilization can be up to an hour and a half away. This has been my 4th year coming here, and I absolutely love it. The area is stunning, and since we are in the southern hemisphere, it is summer and loads of fun in the river valley. There has, however, been a consistent issue the last few years, and today I finally put my foot down. When his family did the food shopping, him and I did the shopping for drinks and snacks. We bought cases of drinks that we know everyone will enjoy, and I am always considerate of what people enjoy and do not enjoy. His family, on the other hand, does not consider my tastes or needs. I am a picky eater, I will admit it, and at times I eat the bare minimum and do not complain. This year we added 2 to 3 things onto their shopping list, knowing that for breakfast they like to have fish with a creamy sauce. I do not eat fish, and just requested that they pick up 2 mini quiches, so that when they made fish for breakfast, I would have something to eat. This morning I get up and I can smell the fish, and I ask if anyone took out the quiches or if they had seen them. My partner just came over to me and said that they didn't buy them. He said sorry, and since I was still quite tired and honestly a little disheartened, this is not the first time, I decided to go lay down.
I don't blame her. That is disheartening. These people don't seem to like you or even care enough about you to make sure they had the one thing you asked for food.
Yeah, if everyone splits the grocery list and does all the shopping like as a group, and you didn't buy the thing that you know is for one specific person, that seems like asshole behavior. He came to our room and asked me to at least come sit with them, and I said no. There isn't anything for me to eat, no one even tried to prepare anything else, and so I was just going to lay and read my book. Let me be clear, there was no extra toast. No one made any effort to fry an egg or anything. We take turns making breakfast, and the other morning I went around asking people how they would like their eggs and made fried and scrambled eggs to people's taste. I'm not just sitting here too lazy to make my own food. Now my partner's parents are saying that I'm rude for not joining them and that I should have just sat with them at least. Am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. I'd say this might be a little bit childish to go to your room and pout that you didn't have breakfast if this was truly an accident. But this is not the first time this has happened. You've just had enough and you're just done with it. So I don't blame you for being a little bit pouty.
Yeah, it almost feels like you're giving them some kind of satisfaction if you just sit there quietly and eat nothing.
Yeah, that's being a little too polite given the circumstances.
Because they weren't even apologetic about it.
So your boyfriend's family sucks and your boyfriend sucks.
Yeah, did boyfriend not offer to make you an egg or anything?
No, he didn't. And I'm like, first of all, I'm an extremely picky eater, but everybody knows it and your family likes me, it seems. So they make sure that they always have food on hand that I like when we come over because they're kind and considerate people who like me.
Right, and because my family is absolutely the type of family that shows love with food.
Yet your mom always buys fresh strawberries when I come to visit. 'Cause she knows I like them. It's very nice of her. And my husband likes me. So if we're eating dinner or something and there are no food options that I like, my husband makes sure that he goes and finds food that I like that I can eat. You guys are having something I don't like. He's like, hey, do you want me to make you a hamburger real quick? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. 'Cause you like me. And you're a good husband. This person is not a good boyfriend.
You started off that little story by only referring to your husband and he, and I'm like, why aren't you just saying you? You got another one?
Yes, my other husband, the one who loves me and takes care of me, not you.
But yeah, it's like the most basic human emotion that when you're in a relationship with somebody, you want to give them food. That is just sort of like the most basic primal caveman relationship aspect.
I give you food, you like me?
Yeah, right? I hunt tiger. You eat tiger.
Apparently tiger tastes gross. Don't do that.
It just seemed very caveman. I don't really want to eat tiger. But yeah, quiches.
But yeah, so they didn't buy her quiches. That was really rude. And then they didn't even let her know that they didn't buy them until it was breakfast time and she didn't have anything to eat.
Yeah, if you're dating a picky eater and you look around and like, oh, she's not going to eat any of this, you don't just say sorry. That is an excellent point that you made, and I can't get over that one now. Boyfriend's kind of an asshole in this scenario. And so is his whole family.
I do not want to victim blame, but I feel like OP, at some point, being a picky eater, should know to just pack extra food that she does like. Just in case.
I mean, OP was in charge of drinks and snacks, so I'm sure she has like a bag of chips or something. But still.
I mean, I pretty much always have a few granola bars in my bag when we go pretty much anywhere because I'm like, well, what if I can't find food I like and I'm like dying of starvation? I gotta have something. It's best to just bring something I know I like.
I don't think OP is at risk of dying of starvation. I think it's just a matter of her partner's family not caring enough to have something on the breakfast table for her. Especially when yesterday she went around and made custom egg orders for everybody. I like your family. I'm not sure I'm going to make custom egg orders for everybody. There's a lot of them. Everybody gets a plate of scrambled and a plate of bacon, and you can pull what you want off the plates. Somebody commented, you're going to be called rude no matter what you do or don't do. Treat them with the same consideration.
Yeah, I feel like if she had gone out to breakfast, they'll be like, why are you just sitting there? Don't you want anything to eat? Why aren't you eating?
Yeah, it's rude that you don't like our cooking.
Exactly.
They could have made eggs and apologized for forgetting the quiche. That would have been the normal thing to do. But it seems like they were just intentionally not giving a shit about OP. The audacity to call OP rude for simply not showing up to an empty plate.
Yeah, and even if they didn't want to cook her eggs, they could have been like, I'm so sorry we forgot your quiche. Do you want to cook yourself some eggs? Nobody even offered her that solution.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that she has to make herself eggs when it's not her turn to cook. But
that's better than nothing to eat.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't offer any solutions. They just said, come sit with us.
Sorry, you're SOL.
They're saying you're rude for not going and sitting with them while they all eat breakfast, and you have nothing because despite you asking for a specific thing you like, they didn't buy it. Even though you take their likes into consideration when you purchase food, and they didn't make anything you like on their turn to cook. Despite you going to a lot of effort to make things they like on your turn to cook. There is only one lot of rude people here, and it's not you. How could anyone enjoy their food when you are sitting there eating nothing because they didn't buy the one thing you requested? In future, I would suggest you buy your own food to make sure you have something to eat, and on your turn to cook, you show the same level of respect they have shown to you, and just cook food you like.
Yeah, I can't imagine eating breakfast while someone is sitting there eating nothing and grudgingly looking around at us for forgetting their quiche.
Yeah, that's exiting asshole territory and entering, like, Oliver Twist orphan director territory.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
More?
Am I the asshole for ending a relationship over long showers?
I mean, personally, I like to take a nice long shower. It depends on if this was a really short relationship or a really long relationship, because you can dump somebody after the first few dates for any reason you want, I guess.
I don't think I'm the asshole, but my aunt and mom got in my head over the holidays, and I'm now questioning myself. Until early November, I, 28 female, was in a long-term relationship with Kevin, 30 male. We were together for about 18 months. He was planning to move in with me at the end of November when his lease was up. I own my own place, whereas he had a roommate who was recently engaged. Seemed like good timing all around. Kevin was generally a good guy, funny, charming, easygoing. I thought I was in love. But a few weeks before he was supposed to move in, he made a weird offhand comment about my evening shower habits. Now look, I know some people will find this crazy, but it's not as crazy as it seems. I have a glorious steam shower with the comfy bench. I take long-ass steams before bed, usually 15 minutes to steam, 5 to 10 minutes with the water on and off to shower and wash my hair, and another 5 or so for skincare. I'm not hogging the only bathroom or the hot water, and I only do it after everything else is done for the day. Work, chores, sex. Anyways, the comment was that I would have to knock off things like that when I was living with him, which, why? He said I was wasting time and needed to be more present when I lived with a man.
Oh, wow. Okay. I thought he was just going to say you're dawdling or something, wasting water, but no, he went straight to, you need to shape up if you're living with a man.
WTF, it's 30 to 40 minutes. I can't have 30 to 40 minutes to myself?
Bitch, I take longer than that in the bathroom sometimes. I gotta trim my beard, I gotta shave, I gotta do all sorts of things.
This led to a longer argument about the various things about myself and life I would need to change before he would move in.
Oh, Kevin. No, what?
Like, I was doing him a favor letting him live with me rent-free. That's her first mistake. She shouldn't have been rent-free. He should be paying you rent.
How long have they been dating?
18 months.
Yeah, he should be paying rent.
Many things themselves weren't terrible. Put my various skincare things away rather than leaving them on the shelf.
That's fair. My fiance made me do that too when I moved in with her.
She says, fair. Don't leave so many shoes in the mudroom. They're on a rack, but whatever. Stop the composting service because he wants to do it. But a few were non-starters. Don't have my brother, 17 male, and his friends over unsupervised by him. And don't volunteer at a local shelter that houses men.
Those rules are big red flags right there. You can't be around other men if we move in together.
It was wild. He had never shown any indication of being controlling before, so I tried to talk to him about what he was thinking. He just said that moving in meant that I was his and needed to act like it. She said she's paraphrasing there, but...
I mean, even if that's her paraphrasing, I don't think there's a good interpretation of those rules.
I said, then we weren't moving in together as I'm not anyone's, although I was less articulate than that, and asked him to leave.
Kevin, if you move in rent-free with a girl, you're hers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're a pet.
It's not even like he's like, I'm the main breadwinner and you're my little wife. No, he's the one who's being kept.
Kevin doesn't need to worry about how many shoes are in the mudroom because Kevin doesn't need shoes.
We had another conversation a day or so later, but neither of us budged, so we mutually broke it off. I was sad, but not devastated. Mostly completely confused and questioning my ability to see any red flags. There had to be some, right?
Sorry, OP. It does seem like there had to be a couple. I mean, the fact that you're self-aware enough to look back, though, and be like, were there any red flags that I missed? Makes me wonder if he was just hiding them really good.
Yeah, I feel like 18 months isn't that long. Someone could hide a lot of red flags for 18 months and then be like, well, now we're moving in together. I have her secured. Let my red flags waver in the wind. He should have waited until after he was moved in, though, right? Sometimes people wave their red flags too early.
I just love the phrase, let my flags waver in the wind, Kristie. That was good.
I thought I made the right choice. My friends think I made the right choice. My baby brother also thinks that I made the right choice. But he may be influenced by my 3D printer. But my mom and aunt think that I made a huge mistake. It's been a solid 2 weeks of, you're going to die alone. You're selfish. You have to compromise in relationships. You can't expect him to put up with your single girl schedules and habits. He was such a catch. I feel like my head is going to explode.
I feel like they're glossing over the big red flags with those statements. Like, yeah, you might have to change some of your single girl habits when somebody moves in with you. Yeah, you might have to compromise a little. No, you should not have to cut all contact with any other man.
But she's 28 years old. She's going to be a spinster. It reminds me of that Pride and Prejudice quote. What is it? I'm 27 years old. I've no money and no prospects. I'm already a burden to my parents, and I'm frightened.
That's true. It absolutely sounds like mom and aunt are worried she's going to become a spinster.
I thought my mom would at least care that he was cutting off free brother sitting when they travel, but no, she thinks my ex was right that my brother and his friends shouldn't be in the house alone with a single woman at their age.
I'm sorry, it didn't really register when Kevin made the rule, but younger brother is 17 and OP is like 28. It's super gross that all the other people are worried about this scenario.
All those 17-year-olds are going to hit on her, and she's a cougar, and she's going to go after them.
No, it's...
Scandalous.
No, it's gross that all these other people are assuming OP doesn't have...
Morals?
Yeah, morals, right?
No, she needs a chaperone. She's an eligible young woman, but not for long. She shall be a spinster soon.
You're really leaning into that Pride and Prejudice angle, aren't you?
It's just, that's what the mom and aunt seem like. Like, you need to catch yourself a man. Am I really unreasonable here? I'm driving myself nuts. We are not getting back together, but was I an asshole?
No, you are not being unreasonable here. You are just having basic self-respect. It sounds like all of Kevin's red flags suddenly burst out of him at the prospect of moving in rent-free. If anything, you dodged a bullet.
Top comment. Aren't you lucky he showed his true colors before he moved in? You dodged a bullet. NTA.
Yeah, gotta hard agree with that top comment. Long, steamy showers and self-care sound a lot better than living with Kevin.
Another comment. NTA. Abusive partners never start off showing their true colors right away. Someone trying to keep you from all men, even family, and from having time alone is ultra controlling. Be glad he didn't move in and that you cut things off before they could escalate more. Someone asks, OP, you didn't suspect anything off about Kevin in those 18 months? And she replies, I swear I didn't at the time. In retrospect, he did roll his eyes at some of my hobbies and activities, but I thought at the time it was good-natured. Like how I make fun of my best friend's shoe hoarding. I love that for her, but also will rib her about it. Apparently his wasn't good nature. My dad hated him, which I should have talked to him about if he saw something I ignored.
Yeah, I can understand a little bit of good-natured ribbing in a relationship. It sounds like Kevin was just really good at hiding his red flags, but maybe not from your dad? But then did dad ever tell you about these red flags he was seeing?
Sounds like no. Just didn't like him. Someone says, for your mom and aunt, tell them I'd rather die alone than as property.
Yeah, I don't know if that logic will work on your mom and aunt, but it's a good amount of self-respect to have.
Okay, she does make a small update where she talks about why her dad didn't like her boyfriend.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I want to know what red flags he was revealing to another man.
A bunch of you asked why my dad didn't like the ex and what red flags he saw. I asked, and here's what he said. Fair warning, my dad is great, but he has opinions. I don't agree these are all red flags, but I'm sure Redditors will school me on it.
I mean, sometimes you need dad to have opinions.
1. He didn't take a job my dad offered. Ex lost his business about 6 months ago, which left him with a mountain of debt, and my dad offered him a job in his warehouse to cover expenses while he was looking. Ex had a job within 6 weeks, so he wasn't unemployed for that long, and I personally think it's fine to take a beat when something big happens in your life. But my dad is of the, you can rest when your bills are paid and chores are done school.
Okay, I'm with OP on that one. I feel like if you lose your job, you're allowed to take like a month or two off to like reset mentally.
I don't even think it's taking a month or two off. I just think that's how long it takes to search for a job, apply for a job, interview for a job, get accepted to the job. It's a long process these days.
That's true. It is a long process these days. You're right. He probably moved pretty fast.
2, he would sit on the porch on his phone when I was struggling on a hobby project. Again, I don't think this one is fair. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to have someone give you a hand with stuff, but they weren't his projects.
Okay, yeah.
I need more info. What kind of projects? Were you struggling to lift up really big, heavy pieces of wood to build something, and he's just like watching you struggle on the porch?
I mean, I don't know. It's her hobby. If she wants help, she'll ask for help. It's not like she was fixing something inside the house. So I can see another one where I agree that's not a red flag, OP.
3, he didn't carry in groceries. Now, this one I kind of agree with. In retrospect, it was pretty weird that I was lugging the groceries in by myself in 2 or 3 trips. I don't know if my brain ever would have noticed it as a red flag, though.
I can't imagine having a partner that doesn't help you lug in the groceries and makes you just do multiple trips.
Okay, if I lug in the groceries, my wrists and shoulders dislocate.
You're very weak, I know.
Thank you for carrying in all the groceries.
It doesn't actually bother me at all. It makes me feel like a big, strong man. Which Kevin should also have felt like. You gotta show off a little, Kevin. You go out to the car, you pick up every single bag, and you do it in one trip. Like a man.
Okay, I've apparently been trying to do it like a man, which is probably why things just fall out of their sockets when I'm trying to do it. That stuff is heavy, man. But I'm not making 2 trips.
As you should. What do you mean I bought 80 pounds of kitty litter? Tough it out.
4, there were other little things around home maintenance. Like, he waited for my brother to shovel the drive, didn't mow, put a whole box in the recycling without breaking it down. And car maintenance. He didn't put my wipers on before a storm or pump my gas. But it wasn't his house or his car, so I feel like those go in the nice to have but not fair to criticize bucket. Sure, my dad would do those things for a neighbor, much less a romantic partner, but that's him.
Okay, so I feel like a lot of these things are not red flags when taken individually, but it sounds like your dad is seeing a pattern of him not doing anything for you.
And I feel like it's very misogynistic of boyfriend to be like, when we move in together, you're going to be mine and you need to act like it. But he's not acting like she's his and taking care of her. Like, if she wanted to be like a trad wife or whatever, cool. But then he needs to be like the traditional male role and like taking care of her and everything. Carrying in all the groceries, doing all the car maintenance.
Yeah, he's not doing any of his end of the bargain, is he?
Mm-mm. Anyway, those were the things that my dad pointed to. Some clarifying points from the last post. First, steam showers don't use a ton of water. It's like 2 gallons for the steam for the whole 40 minutes. That's basically 90 seconds a shower for most people. And because it's toasty in there, you only turn on the shower head when you need it to rinse or shave. Second, my mom isn't a boomer. She's 46. She wasn't always like this, but she and my aunt have gone down some rabbit hole in the last few years. Third, my brother and his friends, not all boys by the way, will always be welcome in my home. Period. If that means I live alone, fine. She sounds like a good big sister.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a cool big sister that you can go and visit with. It sounds like you're not a bad influence or anything, so if anything, that's a good thing. And also, he's like 17. In like 2 years, he's gonna not want to hang out at your house as much.
Finally, do not worry, there is and was no chance I would take him back. He creeped me right out in our last few conversations. I might worry about whether I handled things wrong and should approach things differently next time, but I'm not staying with someone who feels me taking 40 minutes for myself, absent kids or extenuating circumstances, after a long day at work is a bad thing. If that makes me an asshole, fine, I will accept the label. Thank you for all making me feel less crazy. Yeah, I don't think anyone thinks she's an asshole for taking 40-minute long showers. Although now I'm wondering if like the people who live in like drought-ridden California where they have water restrictions were like, oh my gosh, a 40-minute shower.
It sounds like some of drought-ridden California may have commented on her about it because they're like, steam showers waste so much water. Whereas we're sitting here in Michigan surrounded by water constantly. And we're like, but it's everywhere.
Yeah, water is not a precious commodity.
This is off topic, but I always wonder that when people do like environmental reports where they live, because they're like, well, that's wasting water. Whereas in Michigan, I'm like, but it's wasting electricity. Wouldn't it be better to waste the water?
Yeah.
So it depends heavy on where you are. Because I see no problem with OP taking like 40 minutes in the bathroom to herself just to self-care and groom. That's just her doing what she wants. I don't know, put on a podcast and hang out in there for a bit. It sounds like you're not preventing him from peeing, so who cares?
So yeah, I think OP is not the asshole, and she has dodged a whole parade of red flags.
All right, that's our last story for this episode of Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet.
Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.